can't do what you want, do what you can. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the Breathe to Healing podcast. I am your host, Tammy Trayer, and I am so excited to have you joining me. I am sitting in one of my favorite places on my homestead. The birds are joining me. I believe that is a woodpecker in the tree over there. It's a little noisy this morning. It's a beautiful morning here. It is supposed to get into the high 90s today. And I'm sitting here with a sweater and a lap quilt that Grandma Trayer made for me because it's chilly this morning. But as you can see, if you're joining me on YouTube, it is a beautiful morning. I have a beautiful place that I get to enjoy every day, and I'm so blessed. And I wanted to sit down today and talk to you about the importance of not being idle. Our dear friend JC from Boss of the Swamp has coined this quote: if you can't do what you want to do what you can. And that is such a profound statement for us all, regardless of how you want to apply that. I just did a podcast on Mountain Woman Radio using that same phrase for preparedness. But with you today, I'm going to discuss the importance of that in our health and in our healing and in our mindset. You know, I shared with you guys on episode 1 that I've had health issues. And although I have come such a tremendous way, and I am so blessed, 7 years ago I was flat on my back. I couldn't have held a conversation with you because by the time I opened my mouth to answer the question you might have asked me, I wouldn't have remembered what you even asked. I had lots of cognitive issues. I was so toxified, and it was a journey. And I do still have times where debilitating things occur, and I end up down for 2, 3, 7 days, depending on the situation. It can be really frustrating, I'll be very honest. It can be very frustrating at times when you feel so healthy and you feel like you've healed and all of a sudden you have a setback. Many of you can relate to that. Many of you deal with debilitating chronic health issues on a regular basis, so you're very aware of what I'm saying. It's hard to be consistent. It's hard to show up sometimes. And in it all, we can be our worst enemies because we beat ourselves up because we can't. We can't do what we want to do. But we need to focus on what we can do and to do that. And that has been how I've gotten through this healing journey, is really focusing on what I can do. Instead of focusing on what I can't, I need to focus on what I can do. And I've been able to do a lot of tremendous things through this healing journey. Right off the bat, in 2016, I started writing my largest book, and I published that in 2017, I believe it was. I still showed up. I showed up every day. I show up every day now, even though things happen. As some of you may know, I was dealing with 5G and EMF exposure that was really, really debilitating me. And it took a couple weeks to get a handle on things and to figure out what exactly was going on. In the meantime, I was on a consistent streak, and I was really making progress, and I was doing really good things. And all of a sudden, all of that had to halt. And I could have stayed really stuck in my mindset of I can't do. And instead, I focused on I can do these things. And that's what I really want to share with you today, is that our minds and our thinking and how we approach things plays a huge role in our success in life and in healing. So easily we get really stressed out and we struggle when we have setbacks, where if we accept those setbacks and those struggles and we focus and redirect, that's really been an important part of what I do, is redirecting my thinking and my focus. And it has definitely, and I will say very wholeheartedly, it has been a challenge. I can't show up oftentimes like everybody else. I can't be consistent like everyone else. But I keep showing up and I keep doing what I can. And that, I hope, has been something that has really shined through. Because when we keep showing up, regardless if we can do what we want to do or we have to do what we can, showing up is powerful. Showing up is powerful for ourselves, but oftentimes we have people watching us on these health journeys and on these journeys that we're on. And what an encouragement and an inspiration that is to others when you keep showing up and they know the struggles you have and they know how hard things are, and you keep showing up and you keep progressing, and in turn you keep healing. By redirecting our thinking and constantly being able to shift and to do something different as a result of our circumstances, we are really taking our bodies and our minds to really healthy places rather than being stuck in negativity. And for those of you that are faithful, when we get into a negative spot, the enemy soon has a foothold. And that little bit of a woe is me or that little bit of a defeat turns into a huge snowball of ugliness. And I don't want to be there. I fight to stay out of that place, and I have won. So it's a winning attitude, an attitude of I will win and I will not be stuck in this place. And so how do you do that? How do you go about, shifting your thinking when you can't do what you want to do? The thing is to remind yourself that this is just temporary and that you are capable of doing other things, and that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, that you are worthy, that you are enough. And then focus on the things that you can do. I've been in a place for the last couple months where I couldn't physically do the things that I wanted to do. So rather than being down and being disappointed or discouraged, I refocused my efforts to doing things with my hands. So I've been crocheting. Crocheting is not something I normally do. I like to knit. I do like to crochet, but I didn't know how to crochet. I wanted a valance for my kitchen window. So I decided to teach myself how to do that. I just finished it, and I am so excited. To the average man's eye, my son referred to it as though it looked like a professional did it. I can see a couple little mistakes that I made because I know what I'm looking for, but I'm really excited about how it turned out. And you guys can do the same things. You can draw, you can paint, you can write. You can go for a walk if you can't run. And maybe today you're flat on your back in your bed. Your body's telling you need to stay there. You can't get up and walk. You can't do the dishes. But you could listen to something encouraging, or you could read a book that nurtures your soul. Those are some things I really enjoy doing. When I am debilitated for whatever reason and I'm unable to do anything for the day, I turn to those things. I have things available to me, and I add them to playlists or I bookmark them, and I take full advantage of nurturing my soul and my spirit by listening to encouraging things, by watching encouraging movies, by reading good books. Guys, I read a lot. I love to read. I have always loved to read. And I don't just read, I read all kinds of things. I don't just focus on nonsense reading, for lack of better terms, just wanting to go to a different headspace. I have been researching and reading on neuroplasticity and autism, mold toxicity. I dive deep. I dive really, really deep, and it's so gratifying. I've learned so much. Through my healing journey, I have gained so much knowledge, and I've learned so much because I refused to just accept things. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know how I could change things. I wanted to know why things function in our bodies the way they do, and how some things cause other things to not run properly. Like, my brain just wants to know. I'm like that little kid that asks mom, why, how come? That has been me for the last 7 years. Only I've been asking that of myself, and I've been digging deep. And it's been such an amazing journey. So, when you're stuck in places that you can't do what you want to do, it doesn't mean you can't live a full life. You just need to change and redirect your thinking to doing things you can do at the moment. And when you do that, you do take your mind off of your current circumstances. You do enable your body to heal. Sometimes our thinking is the most toxic thing we have against ourselves, is our own thinking. So when we can, redirect our thinking, think positively in our current circumstances, do things that, I don't want to say redirect our thinking, but that just takes our thinking off of ourselves. It can be a very powerful place, so you may not be in a place that you can serve others, because I say that because serving is a great way to nurture ourselves as well. When we are able to serve others, we take the focus off of ourselves and our thinking shifts. And if you're unable to do that, you can still take the focus off of yourself by doing different things. Bring joy and fun back into your life. If you are in a debilitated situation right now with your health and your healing, it doesn't mean you need to reside in that space and that's the only thing you're capable of doing. There's so much more. Read a good book. Get out a notebook and start drawing. Find other people in the same situation and see what they're doing. We have the internet at our fingertips. That's not something we've always had. We have so many resources available to us. I'm going to share this. This is real transparent. As I was going through the healing struggles, it was very frustrating to me, my inability to be consistent with my business as I am running things right now. And I follow a lot of amazing, inspiring business owners that I've gotten so many nuggets from over the years. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, there's gotta be other people out there that are in similar situations as I am, that are doing what I am doing. So I started researching, and sure enough, I found some pretty amazing resources of other people that aren't able to be consistent, and they share how they are making things work. There's always a resource at our fingertips. There's always something new we can be doing. We don't have to allow illness, depression, PTSD, anxiety, and even other people to limit us and debilitate us and keep us in a stagnant place. We have so much power in our day-to-day, and we need to start it off properly. So I'm going to just give you some other tips to go along with this that you can incorporate into your days and start your days off on the right foot. First and foremost, listen to something encouraging, read something encouraging. Create sticky notes with encouraging words to yourself that they are the first thing you see on your bathroom mirror when you're brushing your teeth in the morning. And own those words. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are capable. And then I am a devout journaler. I didn't used to be. This is like a 4-year thing now that I have been consistent at journaling every day. Shameless plug, the Relentlessly Faithful Gratitude and Prayer Journal was published last year. I created my own journal that had everything in it that I needed in one place, in one book. And if you're interested in checking out my books, you can go to breathetohealing.com/Tammy Trayer, and you will find my books. I'm working on volume 2 right now. And it's a very powerful place to journal your circumstances, to journal your gratitude. It's very important to journal gratitude. If we stay in a place of gratitude, it changes everything. Our perspective will change. And keep in mind that we can't live out of a place of fear and faith at the same time. So the same is true of gratitude and I'm not sure what the opposite is. I imagine it's fear as well, but or disappointment. But when you live out of a place of gratitude, your focus on the world changes. So as Dyer has said, change your thinking, change your life. So if you're not focusing on the gratitude in your life, I encourage you to do so. My journal is also my prayer, my daily prayer, where I really speak to God through my writing. And I want to encourage you guys to embrace that. The other thing I do is I spend time with God reading His Word and maybe reading a devotional. I spend my time with God how I feel moved to do so, and He uses that time to speak to me and to direct me and to guide me. And those 3 things have been extremely powerful in my healing journey, in my day-to-day, in starting my day off right. And also evaluate your to-do list. So often our to-do lists are so long, unrealistic, impossible to accomplish. So pull 1 to 3 things out of your to-do list that you feel that you can accomplish in your current circumstances, and focus on those things throughout the day. And if you have had a situation today where you are debilitated, find something powerful to do with your time versus focusing on what you can't do. So if you can't do what you want to do what you can. I hope this has been helpful for some of you. I will continue to share and inspire and encourage, and I just wish you a fabulous day and look forward to joining you on the next episode. You guys take care, and God bless.